Hi, this is Yvonne Wessa with Short Sale Advocates. I hope your weekend was perfect. Some steamy weather out here in St. Louis today. So today we're going to talk about the role of the realtor within the short sale process. Realtors are used to being in control of all of their files and situations. And this is completely different because we all have to kind of give up our egos and control inclinations because we simply have to follow directions as given to us by the lien holder. That is the only way this works. So we're talking about short sales today, and a short sale is, again, what is a short sale? A short sale exists when a homeowner, seller, owes more on the property than what the market will bring to pay the loan off. For instance, if the loan owed is $100,000 and the market value is $80,000, there is no possible way to get more than $80,000 because the appraisal for the buyer will not support more than $80,000. So what we are left with is a company like ours, and we are one of the best, who will negotiate a lower price payoff for the loan with the lien holder. Believe me, we know we're masochists, and our job is really difficult. We do not charge the seller anything in advance. The buyer pays our fee because they're getting the benefit of the discount on the price of the home. And we have a long list of investors and people just waiting for our property. So that is never an issue. But we never get paid until closing. So we are working like crazy to help the seller get out of the situation they're in. And we kind of love what we're doing. So my goal today is to kind of help realtors, because we've had some instances lately where we've almost lost after working for 5, 6, 7, 8 months, we've almost lost the entire project due to realtors not following the directions needed to close. So, first of all, Short Sale Advocates is a contractor in this situation. It is not a real estate company. It is a contractor, and our job is we work on behalf of the seller. We work with agents as partners. And as partners, the listing agent is responsible to produce the listing agreement and MLS, but with the verbiage and all the stuff that the lien holder requires. Little different from most documents. The lien holder controls everything. We cannot tell the lien holder that their verbiage is unnecessary. We just have to follow directions. We cannot tell the lien holder that we want a week to get our documents in. They expect us to get documents in within 24 to 48 hours, and that's probably our biggest obstacle with the realtor partners that we work with. They're not used to having that kind of turnaround. So part of this video is to plead with realtors to just kind of enjoy the ride, because they don't have as many responsibilities when we're involved, and we just kind of guide them to make it all successful and as painless as possible for everyone. So all the realtors, the brokers involved, the realtors, we're a team. We are an outside contractor. So we've had a situation recently where a buyer actually walked, first time in 17 years. had a question or an issue that he didn't really ask anyone, he just didn't come to closing. Well, that's a disaster with a short sale, because the entire, we have to fund on the afternoon that we close. That's it. We don't have options, and there were multiple lien holders in this case. So instead of working towards getting that buyer back to close, the broker called us and asked our company, told me that our company was going to give up its fee at closing to satisfy the buyer. Well, first of all, the broker or realtor does not control our fee. We are contractors. Everyone has signed off on the fee, and that is our fee for 5 months, in this case, 5 months of work. And that's just the same as having a roofer with a lien, or a landscaper that's going to be paid at closing. You can no more tell that contractor that you're going to take the money as a realtor and use it for something else and let them hang out there with their fee. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. So we managed to, I was also told that I'm the miracle worker, and just to do what I had to do to make it work to close on a couple days later. I'm not a miracle worker. What I do is work within the parameters of the lien holders. They have set the closing dates, and if this was not FHA, but if it had been FHA, it might not have worked at all, because each lien holder has a deadline for closing, and if it does not close within that deadline, sometimes the time is run out completely and we can't get a new closing date. Sometimes we have the option to start from scratch and start over again, which would mean another 3-4 months before closing. In this case, it just happened that for one lien holder, the new closing date was the deadline day. On another lien holder, the deadline was the following day. So we were okay with the first two, and we managed to get the third on board. But it could just as well have gone completely sideways, and you cannot even imagine what the seller was going through. She'd already been through a ton with just the 5 months of every week or every day supplying new documents. It's just hard on sellers, and they're already stressed because of their situation, and they are affording, number one, staying in the home, keeping utilities on when they can't afford it. In most cases, they just have some challenges with their funds. So it's extremely damaging for the seller. We've had a stroke, a heart attack, and one man die early in the process of a short sale, just because the concept of having to do a short sale and provide 100 pieces of documents is so stressful for the homeowner. But in the long run, if everybody cooperates, things move along smoothly, we get a closing date, and we close, and the seller is able to start a new life. A second situation that happened, again, very recently, we had accepted a file even though the homeowner had missed 3 or 4 mortgage payments. And we don't usually, but in this case, the homeowner had just begun working with the bank on his own. And once it's called the servicing company, once the mortgage holder realized that the seller does care about what happens, and they do their best to help the seller out. In this case, we took on the short sale process because we thought This was FHA, and we thought that we probably were okay and that there would not be a foreclosure date slapped onto the property where it would be in jeopardy. However, after about a month, we did get a foreclosure date, and it was scheduled to go to auction in 3 weeks. Fortunately, I have some connections in the escalation department at FHA, and we begged for them to do something to get rid of the foreclosure date so we could proceed with the short sale. We ultimately did finally get the short sale, the auction date removed, and went on. We're almost ready. We were expecting an approval letter, and lo and behold, the file got transferred, sold to a new lien holder, which means that we have a couple of weeks delay while the file is being transferred and all the permissions for a new bank to look at the file and open private documents, etc., is in place. So we went through that, and unfortunately in this case, in all of these cases, all of the documents that we've already supplied are not all transferred when the new lien holder takes over. So we had been in the midst of dealing with the new lien holder and with FHA, who were both trying to get us the list of documents they had received so we could supplement with whatever was currently needed. Along the way, for some reason, the realtors, the seller, and the buyer decided that they could make this work without short sale advocates involved. I don't know who started that process, but everyone decided that would work, and they needed our fee, which everyone had signed off in disclosures that we were to get our fee at closing. But unbeknownst to us, they signed a mutual release with the offer and issued a new contract without our disclosures and closed. And we were still working with FHA, which is how we discovered that it had closed the day before. FHA was still working with us, trying to accumulate documents even 3 days later, because the file, even though it had closed, that information had not reached the short sale department nor FHA. So an ethics complaint was filed with the real estate board, but worse than that, they actually violated, it was against the law what they did. So there is a lawyer working on retrieving our fee, or everyone will face criminal charges, and that's just ridiculous. So my plea is to realize Short Sale Advocates is an independent company contracted with the seller. We are all supporting the seller's need to sell short. It takes expertise. I think the whole thing where realtors think that they have a position might have come from a designation called CDPE. I've done it. I've taken the classes. Realtors pay several $100s and go to 2 entire days of training, and they're told that the training gives them the ability to negotiate and process short sales. My opinion, since I took the classes, is that it is a great class for realtors to understand the process of short sales, but I do not believe that it qualifies a realtor to step out of the class and be able to negotiate short sales. It's so much more involved than that. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lien holders, and each lien holder has its own interrelationship, short sale department or designated person. Then you add that to the number of investors, which can range anywhere from FHA, VA, and So each combination of new lien holder and investor is a whole different deal. And unless you've done a lot of them, you don't really know what to expect because they're all handled a lot differently. So this video today is just to thank the realtors who do partner with us and to make sure that our realtor partners understand that they can really step away from the file and just let us choreograph it so that it works as smoothly and as efficiently as possible. We do need documents within 24 to 48 hours of a request. We do need to close between 9:30 and 2:30 because it has to fund on the same day. So there are no options. We cannot close at 4 o'clock because the last time that a wire transfer can be sent to the servicing company is 4. So we need a little lead time. So if you have questions or concerns about your mortgage situation, or if you're a realtor and you think you want to know a little bit more about the process, or you might have someone that you'd like to help, contact Short Sale Advocates, www.shortsaleadvocatesllc.com, or call 314-590-3785. I hope your afternoon and evening are terrific. See you next time. Von Wessa, Short Sale Advocates.